part of most people's everyday life. I know that when I wake up, I immediately put on a song. I even listen to music at work. Many other people do this too. People drive with music, study with music, and even fall asleep with music. Understanding the origins of music is such a fascinating topic, and understanding the origins of African American music is even more fascinating. The origins of African American music, of course, come from Africa, but more specifically West Africa, where a majority of slaves come from. West African music was and is still very diverse, with many genres and different purposes. One of the popular styles was griot music. Griots are the history keepers, since history was not yet written down. Knowledge was passed orally from the griots to the children and other members of nations and tribes. One method was through song. West Africans also used music in ceremonial rituals, recreation, and religion. All of these customs made it over to the Americas during the Transatlantic Slave Act. There were many different types of music during slavery, but the main three were work songs, which were sung while slaves were working in the fields, play songs, which were for the rare occasion that slaves were not working, and children would play hand games accompanied by song. The last type were spirituals. These had biblical meanings, but also messages of freedom. Some songs were actually about running away to escape their masters and the plantations. These were known as code songs. The song Swing Low, Sweet Chariot was a favorite of Harriet Tubman. She used it to signal that a journey was going to be made to help people escape. On the surface, the song looks like a song about dying and going to heaven. While that is one of the meanings, the song has an encoded message in every lyric. Once slaves were freed, after the Civil War, the Reconstruction era began, and with it, new music genres. After slavery, spirituals became less private and limited to church. Religious music started to be performed, resulting in concert spirituals. The genre was not limited to African Americans. White people would take part in the audience. The Fisk Jubilee Singers performed to European audience to raise money for Fisk University. The group fused Negro folk music with the aesthetic of white concert formats. Along with concert spirituals came blues music. Like spirituals, blues songs have messages. They told the story of struggles that were being faced in the black community. Opportunities after slavery were scarce and limited, so many people and families did not have the means to support themselves. Some even still had to work on plantations for low wages or just a place to live. These hardships birthed music from artists like Mamie Smith and Ma Rainey, who you may be familiar with from the Netflix special Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Blues music also influenced jazz, along with other spiritual music. The birthplace of jazz is New Orleans, Louisiana. The genre is a melting pot of cultures and genres. The traditional instruments used are horns like saxophones, trumpets, and trombones. Popular jazz artists include Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, and Dinah Washington. Post-Reconstruction music, more genres emerge. Disco was born from the night scene as a way to escape from social injustices in the U.S. The music became mainstream with the beloved movie Saturday Night Live, which features songs by Kool and the Gang, the Bee Gees, and more. Soul music rose to fame in the 70s. The genre is heavily influenced by gospel music and rhythm and blues. The genre was used in the Civil Rights Movement and had themes of love, heartbreak, and everyday life. In the 40s, rhythm and blues became popular. It is now more commonly known as R&B. In its beginning, popular musicians were the Drifters, Nat King Cole, Louis Jordan, and more. R&B has had a long standing in the music world and is thriving today. Current artists include Summer Walker, SZA, Her, and Chris Brown. On the note of long-standing music genres, hip-hop just celebrated its 50th anniversary. Starting in New York, the genre has now spread globally. The first hip-hop artists were known as the Holy Trinity, and they were DJ Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, and African Bambaataa. The Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight, was the first song of the rap genre to be played on the radio. Now there are whole radio stations dedicated to hip-hop music. African American music was inspired by the challenges that were faced in the community. The music is also inspired by everyday life. Originating from Africa, then moving into slavery, next the Reconstruction era, and finally post-Reconstruction. Each genre builds off each other, making more beautiful music and wonderful storytelling. African American music is not limited to the black race. Music and music genres created by black people is enjoyed across the world.